Hello guys and welcome to TFT World Set 16 Grand Final Lobby, game number 4. Enjoy.
Four people taking Silver Destiny, and Revan still has not chosen. And so we have a lot of randomness entering our current lobby state.
Saya's going for the Bin game path. Go straight to level 5 and just hope you high roll a 4 cost.
It can work. That's all I'm going to say. We'll see if the script writers are gracious on this one as we're waiting for those destinies to show up. We're seeing the gloves come up here for Lisao being one of them as lunch money is being picked up by Leah.
Man. That's definitely one of the ones you don't want, especially when you're Leah and you had nothing on your board. It's one you want to try to win streak with, maybe even just around stage 3 when there's more units to kill and more damage to do. But it requires a win streak most of the time to help reward that early.
Yeah, not something he's very comfortable on either. He's been playing a lot around those loose streak openers, selling board, playing least units possible. So certainly not going to be too happy about the selection.
I would have to say if Saya breaks his streak here, this game plan is probably not worth it. He actually straight levels to 5 and he gets an MF already. Never mind. Does he? Doesn't have any of the other Bilgewater units, but I don't feel like you could give up a 4 cost.
I'm very curious what the game plan is here. It seems like right now it's just, hey, I had good pairs. I'm going to hold them for now. I'm going to see if I can high roll anything crazy. I also look across the conditions of the lobby and say, hey, might as well save HP, possibly play for something level 10 and capping around there if I have enough HP and I can get some crazier augments later to really push me to those high power levels, because sometimes you get those high levels and those 5 costs you really can't stop. What was in the shop?
That speed? Holy! He bought the Mundo and the Nico just to trick Darth Nub, sold it all last second, and then bought the MF.
Whoa.
The fake out after Darth Nub leaves his board. That is some cool mechanics. I mean, there's no way you pick up, you pass up on the MF. I think it's impossible. And Saya also found a Braum on the next shop? What?
Why are we, what are we doing? How are we doing this? Why are my games like this? I don't understand.
Yeah, mouth wide open across the caster desk. That's what I can tell you here from behind the scenes. Everybody's kind of a little bit shocked at what exactly is happening here, but I mean, that's how it works. You got to put yourself in the positions where you can find options like this one, and Zaya knows that. Is playing to those strengths, has the Brown on board, and is going to play around it.
So he actually sells the MF, wants to stick just to the AP line. He probably thinks that Bilgewater is not high enough of a cap. And he has been doing very well on Galio Rise specifically. That has won him quite a few games.
Across the lobby, though, obviously Sai is the main character being in check, but there's so many players that are fighting for that. Darth Nub is fighting for that top 4 alongside Li Xiao. And once they get that, they're able to then contest this in the next game. But there's a lot of our players that just kind of still need to play their game plan. The only one that can really kind of, you know, stack everything because they can go 8th is Mori, who only needs that 1 point.
Elia looking to just get his points in as well, going most likely for the Malzahar reroll. And we do have 4 bards on the bottom side. So we'll see which routes they settle into later on.
The extra items as well is great for playing around win streak.
It's very strong when you've already hit your 4 costs, so...
Right. Okay, we have good AD items for Revan. I'm not sure. This might be an uncontested Darius game. I don't see anyone with Draven quite yet, and so could be time to return to comfort.
Yep, sells away part of the Mundo pair. Wants to make max econ, and this is typically how Revan does play his Darius rerolls. A lot of times he doesn't actually find the Draven early, but is able to swoop in later.
Yeah, that's a really good tech if you are unable to get that early into it. Just trying to play around whatever is strongest to then go in there as he is looking for those options. But Darthnub is yet another player that is looking for those higher finishes, and somehow I'm seeing a Vayne on his board again. I don't know, that's just another one of these players that's just able to call them from wherever he's looking for.
Practice makes perfect. That's what players are starting to believe. Why are these just autopilot Darius LeBlanc players beating us?
You just gotta play your game plan sometimes. What you know best, and maybe you're the best in the world at something, it's gonna be a great way to put yourself in that conversation. Saya, though, did take a loss.
I think Lee Sao might have saved the lobby right there. Very good high roll. If you let him streak that much, there is a chance to go straight 9. Taking him down here was super important.
Yeah, let's see if he can get this win streak going, or if somebody is going to knock him down a little bit. It is Reven on the other side. And Draven, you're looking at each other and you're thinking, come on now. This used to be my comp. What are you doing?
Oh, Reven seems quite in distress here. He's really far behind the ball compared to Lee Sao. I feel like he has to pivot off.
And what are we pivoting into is the question, because so far we've seen Reven try to work around so many of these other things, but never really ending up in a spot where he can really find that comfort unless he can get to that fast 9 tempo. But again, we're playing from behind.
I feel like if you're a Reven spot, you know, contesting this game doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're in a bad spot, why not try to contest Saya instead? Might be the just the goal for him. Extend the series and see how it goes from there.
Oh, we are level 5, and we don't have an item onto this Draven, meaning that we're not unlocking Darius. Now we have a Scion, so we could be considering it once again. I'm probably waiting to see what the items are for him. It will be a 2 cloak drop here from this neutral round. Oh man, it's going to be a very curious adventure to see where he ends up.
I love curious adventures.
Me too.
Yeah. Our players do too. That's why they all pick Destiny.
True. This 3-2 augment, though, is going to be very important, especially if we can get more variants or people take more Destiny augments, or we get prismatics would be a fantastic way to push this game into hyperdrive.
And hyperdrive might just be what players need.
Look at what Saya's doing. I was thinking about this. You should level to 6 here in case you hit forward thinking. So he knows his win out conditions right there. Straight level. He's such a killer, man.
Man, playing for those outs is really what separates this, or like buying your whole bench so you can get Dumbify or Golemify in a great spot to have an incredible amount of HP. Our loose streakers are continuing their journeys down the leaderboard and losing so much of their HP early on into the game.
Is he going to get rewarded? It is gold. The lobby's starting to sweat. Can he find forward thinking?
Explosive growth instead. We are going to push levels so incredibly fast.
Well, I like the idea, and I like the execution thus far, but I will say we've seen lobbies where players that have aggressively gone for XP in the end were unable to cap their boards around strength because they were missing combat augments. That is something Xayah needs to be cognizant about and needs to think about as we go into that very last augment. Of course, if you have a lot of items, you can kind of counteract that, but only so much to go around.
True. I think the job for the rest of the lobby is match tempo. You know, currently he's one of the few players on level 6. Mori got the memo here. He's also leveling on 3-2. And you have to be able to take down his board. If he's stuck on level 8, that means he can't go for the unlock of Rise. That would be the ultimate win condition for Saya.
Darth is also playing around Earth's Gambit, and I'm pretty sure he does want to try and win to get Demacia +1 and get that spatula online, but without a Reforger already online and taking a loss here, not looking like it's exactly what Darth wants, but maybe he's just going for Juggernaut Garen once again.
Exactly. I was thinking about that one.
Running it back. Across our lobby, we have our other gold augments. Care package for Aaliyah being a very good one for scaling. We do have the pan come through, and I'm imagining we might slam this right now. Oh! Bane 2 instantly means that we are incredibly stable right now. Juggernaut Emblem coming through. This is, we are running it all the way back.
I do have questions if this is a comp that can take a first place here, though. That's kind of the important thing for Darthnub. Maybe his game plan is that someone else will help stop Saya. I'm just going to try and tempo the lobby away from him.
Revan has Draven too. We did see on the other side, but for Li Xiao, we're continuing that streak. It will be 8 in a row. No one is really even close to as strong as Li Xiao currently on the stage. We took another combat augment, giving us a bit more tankiness and also some CC to start off our fights. And so it'll be a great setup for them to hopefully continue this throughout stage 3.
I feel like Mori's board is make-believe Darius LeBlanc anyway. It does have the exact perfect BIS items for the Darius, but the units are missing.
Lulu. She's a unit now. Gotta respect her. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Scarily close, I'm not going to lie to you. I definitely would be called out for my fight judging on that one. Anyway, looking at our current carousel, nothing crazy of interest other than the Seraphine, specifically for Leah, who is playing around that reroll, specifically the Targon Malzahar reroll.
I mean, I'm just thinking about Aurelion Soul now. Mori did this to me.
That's all you want now?
Yeah.
Just more Aurelion Soul?
Hey. It looked amazing. It took a first place. After all, why shouldn't we?
Looks like Saya just took a 4-cost extra gold. And this is when everyone is going to get some more items here. It looks like Saya's trying to just get as many TGs on the board, spike as hard as possible.
Wow, we are rolling with so low gold here for Leah. He knows he has to stabilize right now to use this lunch money properly.
This is just
Leo
not a Leah's day.
Yeah, he really needed that frontline upgrade, and it's not even close. Very unfortunate situation for him.
Okay, we break apart the items. We didn't get the Leeching Nucleus off of our Kog'Maw onto this Malzahar too. But it is fairly stable for now. But the problem is we're not making interest. I'm sure we will sell some of our units on bench. Yeah, we'll make 10 gold. Hopefully we don't really need this Bard anymore because our hope is that we can win. Not going to start right now though.
I believe it was Blades Ionia. I'm not 100% sure.
It is.
Oh, okay, thank you. And it does look like Mori will be going to that direction. So we have a couple of rerollers, but nobody really contesting on the Fast 9 game plan. So it looks like the 1v7 scenario is just for everyone to out-tempo Saya. But so far, he's still on 77 HP. This plan is... We'll see on stage 4, but it's not working so far.
Right? I agree, and I think a big part in that is actually fellow countrymate Li Xiao, who has just been putting pressure on the Tempo 9 win streak so far, is going to run into Dasig right now, and certainly has a really strong board to contend here. As we mentioned, all that tempo is only going to work if you're then able to assemble a really strong board, but if your competitors come up with a really strong board, then you're going to stand in the rain a little bit, so I'm not sure I like this game plan from Xayah.
Li Xiao hoping for the 10 streak here to keep that gold as high as possible. That Yorick 2, though, is being very, very pesky and will not get taken down.
Aww.
Healing up just at the brink of elimination there. So Li Xiao losing that streak. Leah, though, continuing the loss streak. Just an econ loss, right, Clement?
I'm not so sure when he rolled down below 10, man. So it is just, look at Aaliyah's expression. I really think it says it all. He knows that he's in a terrible spot. But I feel like what Aaliyah should do is still take the 3 costs out of the pool. You know, if the other rerollers can match tempo and make sure Saya just doesn't get a free stage 4, you've done your job.
Yeah, that might be true. He will think about this per chance, but he also has, of course, a lot on his mind after a very unfortunate day 3 for him. Great day 1, mid-day 2, still able to make it into that final lobby. Great shop for Binbin.
Finding that Warwick 2 is often the hardest part in stabilizing this composition. You find a lot of the other upgrades, but I feel like I get stuck on Warwick Payer every single time I play this, but that is not the case here. We are already level 8 for Saya, 30 gold to work with. We're going to be unlocking our Galio, and you know what's the key to victory so far, this Tactician's Crown?
What
that
is
would
it?
be Galio and Rise on your board, and I think that's where we're aiming.
Don't have the Galio unlocked just yet, though. This is only 6 unique copies of a Demacia across the board. So slight low roll and might give other players a bit of an opening.
You know, I'm getting an eerie deja vu of the title final where we kept doubting his game plan, even though it looked like it was written on the wall already. We'll have to see what this next set of augments is going to bring and whether or not it will be salvation or maybe a wrench in the way for Zaya.
No growth mindset, no growth mindset. Please, no Priz. That's what everyone's hoping for.
Okay, we escaped the prismatic. The good news, maybe the bad news for the rest of the lobby, is that Revan is on his comfort comp. He will be playing around that Draven and Darius this game, so he's hoping for a contest there. We do take Gilded Steel and don't really get anything that's extremely valuable.
Yeah, misses the Shyvana, just pure econ coming on the way for Saya, and unless his roll down works really nicely, I think we might have avoided disaster.
Well, somebody else who has found some upgrades is Elia. We were talking about the fact that he should at least keep on trying to take those units out. He was able to get that Malzahar 3 on board, still missing that Leona 3, which of course is a core part of allowing the Malz to buy time, but we do have 2 duplicators, so we could just slam it and get her on board.
I feel like he must have 3-3'd into something he needed. That was an insane jump of copies right there.
We believe he got Malzahar and Leona from 3-3s, so that's fantastic for him. I feel like this augment is so good in the spots where you need it the most. It gives you a lot of gold regardless of what happens, and also takes 3 costs out of the pool. There's really no negative in taking that in the spot where you're re-rolling 3 costs.
Well, lunch money certainly is going to help us get back a lot of that economy that we lost. Zaya takes another loss. I believe this is the lowest I've seen him in this tournament. In terms of HP, he's one of the players that really likes to play around those early win streaks, a lot of HP preservation. We've been seeing that again and again. And somebody else will be ramping up here with that Jinx comp, and that will be Bin Bin. Leo 3.
The Leah muscles.
We have our duplicator slammed. He's chilling.
Across the lobby, Saya falling quickly, 5 losses in a row. Did roll a good bit to try and stabilize and didn't find anything besides a Braum 2 in the front line. We do have Galio now, so that is huge to have that additional unit coming in from the bench. But the carry is just not really there for Saya. This will just be Lissandra 1, and it will not be around that Lux that we usually see with these boards.
And we're seeing Saya actually not roll more. He's trying to see how much he can get away with, maybe find something on the carousel. He knows that his only out is just to win this entire thing. Doesn't want any more players in check. Mori will certainly be in check after this game as well, so he's trying to play the highest risk, highest cap version of his board.
Edge of Night almost clutching out that fight. Lissandra not quite getting that cast off onto the backliner from Darth Nub, and so it will be another loss in a row.
Zir Zillion on this carousel. Zoe for Elia if he wants it. I'm sure he will be thinking about it. Goes for the Terrican stat. Fair enough.
Saya heading straight for the Zillion, and he does find it.
Okay, that's a better carry, better way to get to level 9, better way to possibly even get to level 10, which would be a great scenario for them. But I do think that this rise in getting to 9 as soon as possible is the current plan. The problem is we just have to get there. Now we've lost 6 times in a row. We need to win a couple fights.
And a lot of the other players are already on upgrades. We saw Mori there on the Annie. We saw Lisao already has found the Mel. So those carries are starting to come online for the other players, which means damage is going to be spiking in the lobby. If you're unable to put a board together, I'm not sure the Cillian is good enough.
One of the unique things about this set is you can't really grief and unlock, right? If you unlock a unit, it will show up in your shop guaranteed. So you get a rise, it's going to work. There's not much more counterplay to it other than that. You have to kill them before they get there.
Braum 2 taking the TG up here. I think this is not really a winnable position against Alia's 3 stars across the board here. But Saya, he's still holding on to that max greed. 37 HP should give him 3 lives exactly. Any win here extends his chance to go level 9.
The Zillion Bomb onto the Leona early means it will fall down as it ticks away. And a longer fight means more XP stored up through the Chrono Keeper as well. Saya, the plan is there. We will survive on to stage 5. And so if we can save enough gold, we could get to level 9. The problem is spending that gold on 9 and then upgrading a board that can win out the game.
Checking in with Reven, we were talking about him being on his comfort comp, but the way he's playing this one is a little bit different.
He had to move away from Lee Sao's board, I believe, and Lee Sao actually faked him out. Didn't even go for the Draven reroll himself.
It is hard when you're sharing that pool of units, regardless of if you're rerolling. Just makes it difficult on him, but now he's level 8, trying to go 9, playing around Fast 9 AD, which has been the worst performing comp, especially when it comes to Fast 9 so far this tournament.
Well, somebody that is not giving us a lot of surprises, Darknut.
Yep.
He's playing once again around these Demacia long shots. We have triple items on both Kai'Sa and Vayne, still looking for that last copy of Kai'Sa to really get online. But we know that this comp can certainly contend and can certainly deliver losses to other players, as we are seeing on the side of Basic here. Xayah taking yet another loss. He is going to be on his last life as we go into stage 5.
16 HP means that he probably has another loss that he can absorb, but it would be very difficult to see him coming back. He actually goes straight to level 9, and that was the play he was waiting for all along. Now he has to set up his board for the Rise.
It's here. We will be getting it next turn. We'll have 19 gold to roll. 7 of that will at least be going to Rise. These neutral and the drops that come on this round can shape this game and help Saya make Tactician's Crown history.
He just needs as much gold as possible. The items don't matter anymore for him. His front line is just held together by TGs and hopes and dreams. Here comes the roll down. Volley Bear coming. Garen 2 right off the bat. Volley 2 almost in position.
We're not going to sell that to unlock Silas. Instead, we're going to stick with the solid front line.
Rolls down, tries to see what else he can find on upgrades. Additional copies of that Rise, of that Galio. Volibear would have been huge. Does not find those, but the Garen 2 is going to be a massive upgrade to the front line and Rise. Certainly a stronger carry than that. Zillion TG going to be slammed on the Galio to try and give him something to work with here. Goes up against Reven. Reven's board is not that upgraded, so probably a good one to run into right now if you're rooting for Xayah.
My heart is absolutely pounding. This could be one of the quickest championship wins coming from our youngest player in the field. Xayah has his board assembled. He just needs the blessing of Mortdog. He just needs those Volley Bears to show up first in his shop, and the path is clear.
We've seen this composition win tournaments before this set, and now hoping to take the Tactician's Crown. Weijin Iverson took TPC 1 over in the Americas. So many of our players are now going to 9 and spiking. Li Xiao rolling a good bit of gold here, trying to upgrade this board. Now has a pair of Mel's.
It's about
Lots of money being rolled. Reven on 9 as well, trying to upgrade that board, trying to reach a similar comp that we're seeing from Li Xiao here, but Mel 2 certainly is a contender. If Xayah ends up running into Li Xiao here, I'm not sure who takes it. Going to be Reven instead.
With the meld too, Li Xiao definitely makes his board strong enough to take down what Xayah has to offer. 16 HP now, it means that if you can win 6 units against Xayah, you can take him out in one blow, but we haven't seen a board strong enough to do so. Maybe only Li Xiao is the one that could play the role of the extender.
Reven on the other side did roll a lot of gold. He still has 30 gold left on level 9, so a good amount to work with. The backline will fall down to this second Xerath cast. We do see, is that Xayah down at 2 HP?
Oh, but he gets
Volley
the
2
volley.
with Sandra 2!
Wow. Now final life, no more extra HP to give. He lost to Bin out of all players. And do look on the right-hand side here. Our lobby is so incredibly close. So many spikes have already hit the boards of the competitors. I'm not sure Zaya's board is strong enough to contend here. We'll need to keep our eyes open and see who's on the other side. Could be Dace, it could be Mori, but could also be Darthnub on the other side. All of these boards are not the strongest, but let's see if Vayne and Kaisa have anything to give to keep this tournament running one round more.
Darthnub has done the impossible so many times before with this comp, even with just the Garen one being able to hold up the fort. That stunt going across the front line seems like it might be enough, and there's so much time spent by this Volibear not focusing on the targets, but no. Is the Garen enough? Is the Garen secret tap good enough to stop Saya?
There's just no front line on the side of Darthnub here that could be anything in Zaya's path. The first player eliminated. Reven knocked out in 8. That opens the path for Lee Sao. They were sharing a lot of those units. It is on his shoulders now.
Massive potential gold injection for Saya. He should be sprinting for a 5 cost here.
Mori also one of these players that has a very high cap, playing around that Annie, which is another recipe to win games. Bin does have that Jinx 3 as well, where Lee has hit his whole board also. And so there are a lot of players in this lobby that are very, very high cap, but Saya has the opportunity to go above them if they're able to upgrade the rest of these units.
Lee Sao probably is the one with the most chance to take him down here, so we'll see what items he gets.
Saya's on the right side of the screen, Mori on the left. We're looking for any frontline upgrades specifically for Mori. We are very, very weak in that department.
Ooh, being stuck on the Annie one. Doesn't look like Mori will be the one to do it. He will go into check regardless for him, but he would have really preferred to take down Saya in the process. Lee Sao, for me, still the most likely one to stop this.
And it is going to be Mori on the other side. We were talking about the lack of frontline, a familiar picture from Darthnub's board right before. This board will make an easy process of this frontline. Annie, one in the background, already down to half HP, will try to heal back up, but the Volibear is right onto her. Mori's backline does not have anything to give here to try and stop Zaya in his path.
Volibear is so good with this TG as well. Dasik also falls out. And so we 2 more players eliminated. EMEA continues their downward trend here in the standings. And CN is rising, and rising, trying to end their drought.
One more upgrade on the board. So far, I believe Saya's actually been pretty lucky. He's dodged the Jinx 3, the Malzahar 3. Can he do it again?
He had the Jinx 3. That was his one loss that he had, but he has been dodging Aaliyah, notably, and he's on a 9-win streak. If Zaya is running into Aaliyah right now before he can find the upgrade onto this Ryze, this could mean everything, but it is going to be Lee Sao on the other side. He has upgraded his board quite a bit as well.
This is going to be the toughest test coming in for Saya. He is lacking a lot of damage from his backline. Can this Mel absolutely just delete the Volibear?
Xerath ult does not take out the Ryze, and the backline has to be the biggest story maker here. The front line has been crumbling for Zaya.
The execute goes through.
The Xerath and the Mel
takes it down.
You're just immediately wiped from the board, and Zaya takes out Lee Sao.
The burst was not enough. Relying on those TG rounds means that Saya survives, and then Ryze, even though he's not 2-star, he does have the execute from the Demacia to take down the remaining carries.
The main character that stands in his way is the 10-win streak from Aaliyah on that Targon Malzahar reroll. The good news for Saya's board is there is high wrap potential from this Volibear to get to the backline. Darthnub already hits that Vayne as well. No Garen 2 is going to be the huge part of this board that he needs to upgrade in order to find success.
I don't see how Darthnub stands in his way. They let him go past the PvE round, dodging Aaliyah again and again. This could be his championship to lose. If he finds that Ryze 2, it will be over for the rest of the lobby.
but he still hasn't found it, is not even close. It's on a single copy, getting closer to the Galio at least, but he would really need that rise to manifest his board as the strongest in the lobby. Let's see if matchmaking is in his favor once more as he ports on over and runs into Darthnup, probably D player in the lobby that he can still beat. Bin Bin on the Jinx, Elia on the Target. Can he take down Vayne 3?
The TG on the Volibear is extremely good here, and that is going to be a huge buff to Saya's board. Onto the back line. The Kai'Sa does dash away quite well, but Darthnup's board does not stand up. Another top 4 puts him in check next game.
More importantly, Elia has taken down Bin Bin, so it is only between Emias, Elia, and Cien Saya on who will end this tournament.
Holding the
for
right
now.
rise.
He has a rise that he's holding. He's actually 4 rise that he's holding. Elia playing heads up, playing spoiler. He knows what he came here to do.
It's Chad Elia versus the unstoppable Demon Saya. He's been playing dodgeball so well, avoiding defeat again and again, but this is the hurdle. He has to pass himself. The TGs do not look as good this time. Braum actually taking offensive items. Is the executes enough to pull through?
Favorable TG roll on that Volibear on the right-hand side, but the Malzahar and the Zoe, they're far away from the bear. Can they take down this front line before he reaches them?
Huge stun! The front line goes down!
Distraction, but there's nothing there to protect
The most
them
dominant
anymore.
run in Takedown
Saya,
history!
with this run, takes Elia down a peg.
We still have another life left.
That wasn't even close, though.
It was not. The TGs are a huge, huge thing here, and we do have a better one on Braum and Galio 2 in shop.
Selling this would be 8 gold. Galio 2, does he have a remover for the TG? That's another huge spike. Doesn't look like it.
The battle of the droughts. Emiya has not won since set 3, and now all the hopes are in Elia, where Cien hasn't won since set 7, and Saya is looking to set history here in game 4.
Playing in front of his fellow countrymen there in Guangzhou. Everybody's looking to Zaya to bring honor and glory back to their region, bring the crown back home, is what they have been saying. Can he do it as the front line on Elia's board drops lower and lower, has taken down the Leona already. Rise in the back line, tries to keep going, but the Malzahar and the Zoe are still alive, and Elia keeps this tournament going.
We will keep playing. Game 5 to come. Elia saves the whole tournament in